What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for the final transfer update of the window. The window did slam shut as of recording 1 hour ago, so it's midnight right now in the UK, and there is some news to talk about. Sorry if you can hear a crying baby in the background, but
someone's very excited. That's all I think.
Buzzing, absolutely buzzing for the news. But the hijack is completed, folks. We brought you the news earlier on today that it's 50-50 between BERGVALL and if he's going to join Tottenham. Barcelona, he's met with both camps and he had a decision to make. We didn't know if the decision was going to come today, because it didn't have to come today because it's a transfer that is happening in the summer. But let's go through the how it all kind of escalated on social media. David Ornstein said, Swedish talent BERGVALL has picked Tottenham over Barcelona, fee approaching 10 million euros plus add-ons, agreed with Djurgården, set to fly out Friday for a medical and sign a 5-year deal, arrives in the summer to join the first team. BERGVALL visited Tottenham on Monday and met with key personnel, including both Ange Postecoglou and Daniel Levy. Johan Lange led the pursuit of the midfielder and persuaded him to sign, despite a deal almost being done with Barcelona. Then Fabrizio Romano came in and he said Tottenham are set to complete the hijack and sign Lucas BERGVALL from Djurgården. Barcelona waiting for players' final feedback, but decision has been made. Spurs prepared to seal the deal. Medical can take place on Friday, as per David Ornstein. Spurs are on it. Then he went on to say that Dejan Kulusevski also had a role in speaking to BERGVALL, telling him about Spurs and working under Ange Postecoglou. BERGVALL communicated his decision to Barca and saying yes to Spurs. The hijack has been completed. And then finally he said, Lucas BERGVALL to Tottenham. Here we go. Barcelona have been told from the players' camp that he changed his mind and will join Spurs. Tottenham ready to pay more than 10 million euros with add-ons. Agreement done. Medical will take place Friday. BERGVALL turns 18 right now, and he's now allowed to sign a professional contract. It will happen later today in London after a medical at Tottenham. And a publication out in Sweden, Direct Football, says Dejan Kulusevski was present when BERGVALL visited Spurs earlier this week and has been encouraging the player to join Spurs. And Matti Moretto says that Barcelona were convinced that they were going to sign him. They hope to announce it today. Although Tottenham offered Lucas BERGVALL a better salary, it didn't make a difference. The decision to join Tottenham fell on his family. So interesting developments.
Unbelievable. Incredible, absolutely incredible that yet again in this transfer window, a player has chosen Tottenham Hotspur over a supposed super club to further their career, which is unbelievable news. And I think it may be, hopefully, it's evidence of the club's kind of global appeal, like excelling maybe in recent years, and maybe the global profile of the club has been growing to such an extent that these players now see Tottenham as a more viable option. I've been doing a bit of research into him. Looks like an unbelievable talent with unbelievable close control. His passing range seems incredible for a 17-year-old, obviously playing regularly in Swedish football. Interestingly, he started his youth career at the Swedish club. I'm going to try and pronounce the name. I'm going to butcher it. It's a Bromachkana. He started his youth career.
Bromachkana or something.
Bromachkana, yeah. So apparently this Swedish youth this Swedish team like are known for developing some of the best talents in Sweden. Decky came from there. The guy who's in Sporting at the moment, I can't remember his name. Gyökeres, he came from there as well. Their current manager is Olof Mellberg, I don't know if you remember him from Aston Villa. So, you know, he's come through that youth academy and now he's obviously making a name for himself. And this is really, really exciting news. And what I do wonder if there's anything to the, you know, guarantees of first-team football. I mean, it would be interesting to see him come in next season. I don't know if he'll be 18 by the time next season comes around.
He's 18 today, 2nd of February.
His birthday.
Yeah,
today. Oh, it's his birthday. Oh, happy birthday, BERGVALL. Unbelievable. Unbelievable news. Okay, so look, maybe 18, you know, it's possible he could be ready for the first team. Maybe if Tottenham were given those assurances, maybe that's why he's chosen Spurs. And it's a super exciting deal. I've been watching like YouTube like highlights of him complete. Obviously, I've never seen him play. He looks incredibly. It looks like he's a tall, strong lad, but also unbelievable quick footwork. He glides past players. He seems to like caress his passes, like with an unbelievable way of pass as well. So look, let's be honest, our track record for signing players and learning them back has been unbelievable at the moment, hasn't it? So, yeah. I mean, what's not to be excited about?
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of a bit of a young Frankie de Jong, just before maybe in his Ajax days or something like that. His talent and technique on the ball just look insane from the YouTube clips I've seen. His passing ability, the way he can move between the lines, the way he can beat a player as well from at such a young age, playing men's football, already having his first cap for the Swedish national team as well. This guy has got some serious pedigree behind him as well. He looks insane. So in terms of him coming into the first team next year, does that mean that once Højbjerg goes in the summer, we're not looking for another central midfielder?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it would be more of a replacement for Lo Celso, maybe, if Lo Celso was to move on. Obviously, there's also Alfie Devine to think about, because he's obviously on loan in the Championship at the moment. He's playing really well, apparently, for Plymouth, and obviously had a great loan spell in the first half of the season as well.
He's only played one game.
Huh?
He's only played one game.
For Plymouth, no, but in the first half of the season, he was doing well as well.
Vale,
in League One for Port Vale. So, like, maybe he's one to consider. It depends how the rest of his season goes in the Championship. Look, these are great problems to have. Great young players coming through. Really, really exciting that we've got the next generation coming through at Tottenham, and seems to be like some of the most talented young players you could find out there. Look, the fact that Barcelona was so heavily chasing him, and apparently they'd even gone as far as to say that they thought they'd signed him, goes to show how in demand this guy is. So we know it's not like he's come cheap. For a 17 to 18-year-old, to pay £10 million for him isn't cheap, but I think it's a super exciting deal. And hopefully, look, I don't want to put too much expectation on him, because who knows when you're a teenager how you're going to adapt to the Premier League, and if he might come, and we might decide he might need a loan deal. But just the kind of player he is, and what I've seen from him in clips and stuff, and the fact that Barca was so interested in him, just makes it very, very exciting.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this guy, to be honest. I really am. And you look at the kind of outlook now of the future of Tottenham Hotspur. In 10 years' time, or 5 to 10 years' time, it's not all beyond the realms of possibility. You could see a midfield three of BERGVALL, Sarr, and Devine. You know what I mean?
Scala up front.
With Scala up front. We've got the future is actually looking so bright at Tottenham now. And not just the future's looking bright, but the present is looking bright as well. So ever since Ange has come in, and Paratici, even before that, when Paratici came in and he started sorting out the club, he's actually kept to his word, hasn't he? And he's sorting out the future of this football club.
100%. It's not even just the young players we're signing, which is super exciting. Obviously, Udogie and Sarr have been amazing. And this guy, there's Vuskovic, obviously, he's gone out on loan, and he's a super exciting talent centre back. But you have to look at the talent we have in the youth team. They're absolutely smashing it at the moment in the under 21s. Donnelly's doing really well. Phillips is out on loan. As you say, Devine, you've got Scarlett. So you've got Sunsot Bell as well. There's a lot of talk about him. Will Lancashire, apparently, a lot of clubs were interested in this window, but nothing really happened. But it's like everywhere you look, Josh Keeley apparently is having a really good time in Barnet on loan at the moment. So like everywhere you look, in terms of the future moving forward, it's really, really exciting. And I think this is a bit like Levy's wet dream, to be honest. If like in terms of like if you offered Levy like the perfect world, it would be develop your own players, make them into superstars from your own youth academy, and if you sell them, it's pure profit. Or you don't have to buy superstars; you make them yourself, and that's probably what his dream would be. So I'm not saying this is like fully in motion yet, but you can really see what they're trying to do with all these really exciting young talent. And look, we're excelling at every youth level, and all these young talents we're signing as well. We're signing all the best young talents from across Europe, and it's paid off so far. Look at Sarr and Udogie, how they've come into the first team and been amazing. So it's super exciting.
It really is. And it wasn't so long ago that we were sitting here saying, what is going on with the academy? They're not producing anything. It's like a dead end, the academy. And suddenly, out of nowhere, we're producing all these talents. We're buying some of the best talents from around Europe to nurture as well. It's just great. It's a great time to be a Spurs fan, great time to be alive. Alejo Veliz, let's talk about him because he's completed his move to Sevilla on loan till the end of the season. He's another one that we've signed, young prospect for the future that's looked good in cameo spurts for the first team. And I'm going to be really interested to see how he gets on in Sevilla, hopefully playing football, because apparently one of the assurances he's had is that he's going to play quite a lot of football.
Yeah, that is true. Although apparently Rafa Mir, the Sevilla striker, was set to leave. Apparently that deal got called off. It collapsed. So obviously they still went ahead with Veliz, which was great news. So shows that they still want him and they believe he can get some game time. But I wonder how that affects those assurances that he was given. I hope that it doesn't, because Rafa Mir hasn't been in good form this season. But I'm really excited. I'm going to definitely be keeping an eye on Sevilla second half of the season, see how he gets on. According to Ali Gold, apparently he's back from injury imminently. So hopefully that's really positive as well. And if he gets some game time in La Liga playing top level football, it'd be interesting to see what he does with that game time, and if he's at all productive, if he's getting goals or making impacts in games. That's going to be so interesting. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing how he gets on second half of the season.
And like a lot has got to do with Alejo Veliz as well. Like if he actually kicks on now at Sevilla, there's been a lot of talk in the Spurs fan base how we need another striker in the summer. Like if Alejo Veliz kicks on at Sevilla, do we need another striker in the summer?
Well, if he, if Rishi carries on his form, and Winara Son is a great number 9, who can score goals at number 9, and Veliz becomes an option as well, like, why? Maybe not. And yeah, if he really kills it, why not give him an opportunity? I don't see a reason why not.
The transfer business that we have to do in the summer is diminishing minute by minute. I mean, we need to sign probably in the summer. My key targets who I want are probably 2 out-and-out proper one-on-one demons on the wing. And you want to beef up the fullbacks as well. I don't know if Emerson is going to cut it. We need someone to fight with a doggy for the left back spot as well, and probably need, unless Keeley can come in and play second fiddle to Vicario. Forster's not going to be here next season, isn't he? So we probably need another keeper.
Yeah, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we turn to our academy for any of these players. There's obviously, we were heavily linked with people like Conor Gallagher as well because we wanted a midfielder, but look at these options that we've got through. So is there any reason to block their pathway by signing a big money signing when you've got Sarr there already doing really well? You've obviously got other midfielders like Bentancur can play that role. So why block the pathway of a young player by signing yet another midfielder? Why not give them an opportunity? That'd be really interesting. Yeah, obviously wingers, I think look, we've got decisions to make on Werner. Is he going to be here next season? We don't know. Solomon, we've got a decision to make on him because he's been injured and he was okay when he started, but look, if he comes back from injury and doesn't do it, is he going to be here next season? I don't know. Maybe we'll give it. It might be a case of Tottenham thinking about, from an FFP standpoint, we're going for free, so anything we get is profit. So maybe that would help as well. So yeah, I think definitely a wing is probably a priority. But other than that, I'm looking at the squad. It just looks really healthy, really healthy.
Surely now with all these like academy products coming through and the need to spend money lessening pretty much with getting this guy in who's going to be part of the first team. Alejo Veliz already through the door. Like, surely if we only need to bring in these certain figures, then we can actually splash big on like a right winger or a left winger or something.
Yeah, exactly. Quality over quantity, and I definitely should think we'll be focusing on that. And I 100% agree. Like if we look at the academy, obviously Santiago has been really good on the wing, but obviously he's been on the bench. Neff hasn't really come on, has he? I don't think he has got any minutes yet. No. So he, other players from the academy have trusted more than him. So if that's one of the areas from the academy we're not really seeing anyone coming through at the moment where we think is going to be part of the first team, there's no reason to think, okay, then that's the position we splash big on and we go and we really push on there. So that's super exciting prospect as well.
Michael Elise,
I would love that. I would love that.
There shouldn't be a reason why we couldn't afford him. There shouldn't.
There's no reason. I don't know how much his release clause is. I don't know if he has a new one or not. But
even if he's 100 million, even if he's 100 million, like we should be putting the money down on the table. I know it's not something we've done in the past and not something that we're used to doing. But if we've got all these talents coming through and we're going to really utilize the academy, like why not go and splash out 100 million on a lease?
Agreed. In fact, if we can, like, say, if you tell me we'll trust in Ashley Phillips and Devine, all these players, and we're gonna believe in them and give them a chance, but we need a winger. We need to sign a winger. Then 100% go big and get a special talent that can make the difference. And I think he can do it.
Yeah.
Or Eze. Yeah.
Yeah. Both. 200 million.
And both. 100%.
Last but not least, let's just touch on Bryan Hill. He's stayed at Spurs. Apparently, he didn't want to move if it was on a loan move. And I can kind of understand where he's coming from, to be honest, because like we said before, like we keep saying, always the last thought, this football club, not valued. Doesn't seem like he's valued by the club, really. He doesn't have a future here, it doesn't look like. So what does the future hold for Bryan Hill?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for him to get game time, to be honest. Maybe he just feels like, look, if there's a couple of injuries, maybe I've got a chance and I can get into the team. But there were injuries and he still didn't really get that much of a look in. So I find it hard to believe there's going to be that much game time for him from now to the end of the season, especially now with Solomon coming back as well. And obviously Son's going to be coming back from the Asia Cup in a week or two. So I don't know where he fits in. I don't know. I don't even know if he sees himself as a left or right winger at the moment. I don't know what his best position is. And I mean, has used him, to be fair, a few times. He had two starts. He started against Villa and he started against City. Weren't bad, but wasn't anything to write home about.
Did he come in for half time in both of them, or just one of them?
Against City, he did. I don't think he did against Villa. He went off. I think he came off on like the 60th, maybe 70th minute. But I don't think he went off half time. City, he went off at half time. He has had a range of cameo appearances. Again, looks bright, but nothing to write home about. So. But maybe he is just happy. Maybe he's enjoying the environment. He's enjoying the football. And he just feels like I'm better off hoping to get a chance here, being at the club, than going out on loan and hoping to get a chance at Brighton. I would argue there's going to be more opportunities for him at Brighton. So you might as well go there. But maybe he's thinking, why have another loan deal and, be back to square one in the summer? Whereas now, if I'm at the club who signed me and I might as well try and fight for my place here than fight at Brighton. I can kind of get it, but I think I would have advised him to go to Brighton, but
yeah, I think it's better for his development and definitely better for a future move in the summer as well.
But you got to remember, like, these players are human beings. So maybe in terms of like pure footballing standpoint, maybe he wants to go to Brighton, but maybe he genuinely is happy with the environment in the squad, and maybe he doesn't want another change. He went to Valencia, he went to Sevilla. Maybe he just doesn't want another loan move. Where he has to fit into another dressing room, another new set of teammates, where it's only temporary. Again, it's not like a family. Where maybe at Tottenham it feels like a family. Maybe he feels part of it, and maybe he'd just rather stay here than go join another temporary squad for 6 months where he knows he's not going to be there for long. Maybe that's how he's thinking.
Yeah, probably, to be honest. But what I envisage for him is probably getting little to next to no game time from now until the end of the season, seeing as we've already got league games left and Timo's come in, and probably head off back to Spain in the summer. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, most likely.
But yeah, that is a wrap for the transfer window. What's your score out of 10?
I'm pretty happy. I think outgoings we've done great in terms of like getting Lloris, Dyer and Perisic off the wage bill.
Wages off the bill, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really positive. And I have to say, great loan moves for a lot of our players. Devine, Phillips, Veliz, really great that these loan moves have gone out and getting really good experience. So from outgoings, I'll probably give it a 9, maybe even a 10 out of 10, maybe. And incomings, I'll probably give it. I think the priorities going into the window were a centre-back and a winger. Obviously, Dragutin I'm delighted with. Werner, I'm happy with. He's doing great at the moment. I wouldn't say it's like a 10 out of 10 signing, but I'm very happy with what he's doing at the moment. So I'll probably give incomings... could we have done one more? Probably not. I'm looking to see what more we could have done. Like, we're not going to sign a midfielder because we've got so many. We're not going to sign another winger because we've got Werner, and I'll probably give it 8 out of 10. The incoming. So overall, probably 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I would say, I would say 8. I think like to give it a 9 or a 10, you probably want to push the boat out and get like someone else in. I know it was not realistic to do so, but that's what pushing the boat out is, right? And I don't think we did push the boat out in terms of incomings, but to get BERGVALL signed, sealed, and delivered for the summer, I think is a massive plus for us. You're looking at a star for the future, in my opinion. Dragutin, a young centre-back. I mean, the defensive situation at Spurs, if you look back 6 months or even look back a year ago to it now, it's completely changed. And I'm so happy with the way our defensive structure is looking now. And Timo Werner, I was a fan from the beginning of the signing, so I was really happy with that one. So I would say if we would have got another kind of either a midfielder or another winger in there, I would have pushed it up to a 9 or even a 10. But as we are right now, Dyer out the door, good loans as you mentioned. I think I'll give it a 7 or an 8, 7.5.
7.5. All right.
But yeah, that's it for a wrap. Let me know your ratings for the window in the comment section below. But we'll see you all tomorrow for preview day as we preview the big game against Everton on the weekend. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.